dot product of two mutually perpendicular vectors is what? We know if we have two vectors, A vector and B vector, then their dot product or scalar product is what? It is A, B cos theta, where theta is the angle between the two vectors, A vector and B vector. Okay. Now we are said that they are mutually perpendicular. Perpendicular means their angle is 90 degree. So here theta is 90 degree. The vectors are mutually perpendicular. Okay. Then what will be the value of AB cos theta? Equals to A, B. Here A is nothing but the mod, that is magnitude of vector A. B is nothing but magnitude of vector B. AB as it is and theta is 90 degree. We all know that the value of cos 90 degree is 0. So what will be our answer? Cos 90 degree is 0. So AB into 0 is nothing but 0. So when two vectors are perpendicular to each other, their dot product is always 0. Just keep this in mind, in your mind. Do not do so much calculation. We will simply remember, it's a very basic point, that when two vectors are mutually perpendicular, their dot product is 0. A person walks first 10 km north. So if this is our direction, suppose this is north, this is south, this is east and this is west. So this is the starting point. Okay. So 10 kilometer north. So in the north direction 10 kilometer and then 20 kilometer east and then 20 kilometer east direction. So what will be the resultant vector? We don't need direction here. We need the magnitude, because magnitudes are given in the option. Okay, then how will we solve this question? See, we are given 10 kilometer north and then 20 kilometer east. To solve this, to find the resultant vector, we can put this vector a slight above for our solution. We can do this. We can change the position of the vector but not the direction. Including this value 10 and the direction, I am just taking it and putting it here. I have not changed the vector. I am just replace it in this position. I can write it like that. I haven't changed the magnitude. I haven't changed the vector. I just put it here for the simplification, of our solution, for easy solution. So this is 10. Now if we take this as a vector and this is another vector, then we can simply find out the resultant vector, R vector. Okay, suppose this is one vector P vector, this is another vector Q vector, and this is their internal angle. What is the angle? It is 90 degree. We know when angle is 90 degree, what is the formula? of resultant. It is R. I want the magnitude, that is root over p square plus q square. Why it is like that? Because we know if I have two vectors p and q and their resultant is r, then what is the formula? R square p square plus q square 2pq. What is p and q? P and q are nothing but the magnitudes of vector p and vector q. Okay, 2pq cos theta. What is theta? The angle between p and q. Okay, now you can easily observe the angle between p and q is 90 degree. So when angle between two vectors are 90 degree, this is 90 degree and cos 90 degree is 0. So this whole term becomes 0. So we are left with r square equals to p square plus q square. What is r? R is the magnitude of r vector. So what will be the magnitude? R root over p square plus q square. Okay, I have directly write it. So this way we will solve it. Now we will simply put the values. So what is the value of p? 20. So root over, what is r? Root over 20 square plus q square. What is q? 10. 10 square. Then 20 square is 400. 10 square is 100. So it will be 500. So what was the value? Root over 500. So we will simply do that. Root 500. So what is the value? The value is 22.36. Our resultant was r root over 500. So root over 500 is 22.36. So our answer is 22.36. So the answer will be option A, 22.36 km. So when a vector dot b vector equals to minus mod a dot mod b, then which one will be correct? Okay, so we will simply do what we know, that is a vector dot b vector minus mod a dot mod b. This is given in our formula. So let us take the magnitude of these two vectors. We will write it like simply a, and b vectors also simply b. And here mod a is nothing but indicating the magnitude of a vector. So we can also write it like a and mod b as b. It will simplify our equation. Okay, so we can write this right hand side as minus mod a means a, simply multiplication, and b. Why it is simply multiplication? Because but this side, on the left hand side, this is scalar dot product, but this is simple multiplication. Why? Because dot product is performed on vectors and multiplication are for normal numbers, not vectors, scalar numbers. Here we see that this side, left hand side, has vectors there. So this is dot product, but they are not vectors, they are magnitudes. So simply AB multiplication. Okay, so A dot B means, what is the formula of A vector dot B vector? We know A vector dot B vector means A B cos theta. If A is a vector, B is another vector, and their angle between them is theta, then A vector scalar dot product B vector is mod A into mod B into cos theta. Okay, so mod A is A, mod B is B, and cos theta. Okay, so what will we do? So this side also mod A, that is A and A, so we will cancel A, we will cancel B, so we will left with cos theta is, this minus is left, minus 1. We know cos 180 degree is minus 1. This is common value. Cos gives minus 1 in many angles, but the most common one which is used the most is cos 180 degree. It is minus 1. So we can say from these two informations that theta is 180 degree. Okay. What is the meaning of theta being 180 degree? If A is a vector and B is another vector, then their angle between them should be 180 degree. Theta is 180 degree, means the angle between two vectors is 180 degree. How? Suppose this is a vector. If the vector would be like this, then the angle is 90. Then again increase, and when in this direction, then the total angle, this angle from this side to this side is 180 degree. So we can say that this is one vector and this is another vector, suppose B vector. They are opposite direction. So then what? Then answer will be option C. A vector and B vector act in the opposite direction.